Bonjour à tous and welcome to French for a Day. This is the place where I like to share with you my French beauty secrets, and I love to talk about French beauty, fashion and lifestyle. I post a new video every Saturday and today we're talking about French weddings. I'm going to create a French bridal makeup look. And it's the wedding season, so I thought it's going to be interesting for all of us to sit and have a chat about the bridal makeup look. I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks on how to create this natural French bridal makeup look. Last year I attended the wedding of a very good friend of mine. She's French, so the wedding was in France, of course, and it was a beautiful wedding. I had the honor to create her makeup look for the wedding, so I'm going to walk you through a typical French bridal makeup look. I felt very honored to be able to create her makeup look for this very special moment. Now, before I start this video, if you're a bride-to-be and you're watching this video, congratulations. I'm sure that your day is going to be truly magical and fantastic, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. And if you are not a bride-to-be and you're still watching this video and you're just like me, be sure to sit down, relax, and try to recreate the look. The look is going to be very suitable also for any kind of special occasions, receptions, or if you're a wedding guest. It is going to be a universally flattering, universally chic makeup look. So let's go ahead and get started. I think that a lot of people romanticize the idea of getting married in Paris. This is the city of lights, the city of love, and raise your hand if you imagined getting married in Paris. I'm one of you. But I think that there is so much more to France. I just wanted to drag your attention to France as a whole, because when we say France, we usually imagine Paris, and when we imagine the most beautiful wedding, we usually imagine a Parisian wedding at Notre Dame de Paris, which is a beautiful venue, of course, a little hard to get in there. France is one of the most beautiful countries in the whole world, and you can spend years traveling around and you couldn't possibly travel to all the magical and beautiful places, and there are so many beautiful castles that here in my French for a Day series I would love to celebrate France as a whole, not only Paris, even though Paris is one of my favorite cities. Without doubt, it's breathtaking, it always makes me feel so magical, but there is so much more to France than Paris, and that's just something that I wanted to say. Now, a few tips before I start with the makeup that I have for all future brides, or if you have a special occasion to attend, might be a reception or any kind of special occasion that you have. The first one is going to be, don't try any new treatments right before the wedding. I know that a lot of people usually feel tempted to do a fancy treatment right before their wedding or right before an event. But this is actually, in my opinion, this can go so wrong because you never know how the treatment is going to affect your skin. So I would say that right before the wedding, like 1 month before the wedding, don't do any kind of treatments with an esthetician or with a dermatologist. Be very careful with your skin. Don't try anything new because you don't know how it's going to end up. Make sure to have a consistent skincare routine because you want to look your best at your wedding day, of course. I'm going to link a video here with some tips for beautiful skin. So without further ado, I already did my skincare and I'm going to start doing my makeup. Now I'm going to recreate the look that I did on my friend. So when we were thinking with my friend about her wedding makeup, she was looking at a lot of makeup artists, she was looking at different works, and what she didn't like was the typical looks that a bride would have. The very pale lips and the false lashes, and somehow they looked a little bit more, I would say that most bridal makeup looks that we were looking at looked quite identical, and she wanted to look healthy, she wanted to look free, she wanted to be herself. So one of the tips that I have, make sure to be yourself and don't try something extreme. If you're someone that doesn't wear a lot of makeup on a daily basis, and if you generally enjoy the natural makeup looks, then be sure to not go into the extreme, because this is a day about yourself, celebrating your love and celebrating two families coming together and becoming one. So it's all about you feeling your best and feeling comfortable in your skin. I took my hair back so that you can see better, and the first step is going to be foundation. Foundation should be chosen depending on your skin condition and what you want to achieve. For the most part, I would recommend a foundation that has a light medium coverage because you're going to have this flawless base. So a foundation that I would recommend for brides or for special occasion is the YSL All Hours foundation. I don't have this one at the moment, and back then on her I used the Le Beige Water Fresh tint as a base, and then I used also the Numero 1 de Chanel foundation on top. So that's what I'm going to use today on me. I am in between two shades of the Water Fresh tint, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix light and medium light. So you can see that this one is a little bit paler, but that's because my neck is always paler than my face. So I need to even out the skin tone. And while I'm doing my base, I thought it's going to be interesting to show you some photos of some of the most beautiful chateau venues for weddings that you can rent for your special occasion. They're not in Paris, but I think that they are truly breathtaking. Now, once that's set, I'm moving on to the Numero 1 de Chanel foundation. I'm going to use it with my fingers just on the places where I need a little bit more coverage. Even though it's a wedding makeup, I would say don't pile a lot of products one over another. If you need a little bit more coverage, I would say use a foundation that has some medium coverage, but don't use too much of the product, because if you use too much, it's never going to look natural and it might start looking cakey as the day goes. So here everything is going to be individual, and you have to respect your skin and you have to think what your skin actually needs. But don't use thick layers. It's better to use a product that has medium coverage and to use a thin layer. So this is going to be the key to your long-lasting makeup. So I'm applying just a little bit. This is exactly what I did for my friend's skin. I applied a little bit of the foundation also on my eyelids, just from what's left on my brush to even out the skin tone here and also in the inner corners of the eyes. Now I'm moving on to concealer. You're often going to hear me that I don't like to use concealer on a daily basis. For a wedding, I would use concealer because you want this flawless under eye area. The concealer of my choice would be Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer because it is hydrating. It's a light medium coverage concealer, but it's quite stretchy. You can use it all over the face and I find that it works quite well. Another one that I would recommend is the Sisley Under Eye Concealer. Let me go ahead and see. This concealer is also very good. I would recommend it for special occasions or for weddings. And then the other one that I currently don't have is the All Hours Concealer from YSL. Again, a very beautiful concealer. This one is more like a full coverage, but it has a thin consistency. So if you need a little bit more covering, I would say the All Hours Concealer from YSL is an excellent choice. And I'm making sure to place the concealer only on the places that I need to conceal. I don't like to have too much product. Then I'm using the NG Hot and Flashy brush. This is the concealer. This is the best concealer brush because it doesn't pull the skin. It's the best concealer brush that I've ever used. And if I need a little bit more blending, I'm going to use a damp sponge beauty blender. Now moving on to powder, and unless you have very dry skin and you feel that you absolutely don't need powder, I would say use a little bit of loose powder because it's going to set the makeup, it's going to erase any pores and imperfections, it's going to give you this additional help, additional airbrushed effect. But the way I like to apply powder, I'm going to show you now. So the powders that I'm going to recommend are, if you have dry skin, my absolute favorite is the Sisley Loose Powder. I know that it's pricey, but it lasts for a very long time. And then if you have normal to combination or oily skin, then the other favorite that I have is from Givenchy. This is the Prisme Libre powders from Givenchy. They are excellent for erasing pores and for controlling the shine. Back then, on my friend, I used a La Mer loose powder because it's her favorite. Let's go ahead and use a La Mer loose powder actually, because I'm cherishing this moment when I did her makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a La Mer loose powder. It's, again, this one is very good, but I would say that it doesn't beat my Sisley loose powder. Whatever powder you decide to use, a trick that you can try is take a damp beauty sponge, beauty blender. I like the beauty blender sponges. So this one is a damp one. And I like to take some of the powder, take it on the back of my hand, I'm going to take the excess on the back of my hand, and I almost don't have product on the beauty blender and on the sponge now. And I'm going to tap on my skin. This is going to help to erase pores. And take your time here. Make sure to really push the product into the skin. And make sure that you don't have a lot of product. Now, this is a trick that I've shared here on my YouTube channel, and a lot of you have thanked me for this and find that it makes a huge difference the way you apply your powder. I had a lot of you saying that this trick works so well for you. It works if you want to get this really airbrushed effect with erased pores. And this trick also is going to allow your skin to show through. It's your skin is not going to look powdery as if it has a lot of product, because this allows the skin to absorb the powder very quickly. It just sets the foundation, but without adding coverage. Next, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm using my favorite Floris's brow pencil, and then I'm going to set with Sigma brow wax. Now, moving on to eyes, and back then on my front I used a combination of Tissé Rivoli by Chanel and Tissé Vendôme. These are two timeless eyeshadow palettes from Chanel. Today on my face I'm going to use Tissé Vendôme, and I'm going to use also a couple of other palettes. I'm going to mix and match, so you don't have to use the exact same products that I'm using here. Use your own makeup. Just follow the process, follow the whole idea. I'm going to start by using a Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette, this kind of a grayish color here. This is the one that I want to use. And this is the Sophisticate palette from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to start using this color in my crease. Now, if you have oily eyelids, make sure to use a primer beforehand. On my front, I used the Urban Decay primer, eye primer, because she has oily eyelids. I don't experience that, and that's why a little bit of foundation on my eyelids is just enough, and my eyeshadows are not going to crease. But make sure to use an eye primer here, because you want your makeup to be long-lasting. And if you have oily eyelids, you know how your skin reacts, so make sure to just customize the look to your liking. It looks a little bit dark now, but we're going to blend that, so don't worry about that. Next, I'm taking a clean brush and just go ahead and blend this color. Next, I'm taking the palest shade of Tissé Vendôme. This one is so divine and beautiful. I'm going to use it in the inner corner of my eye and drag the color. This is just beautiful, almost like a champagne color. I'm using a Chanel sponge applicator, which is very convenient for packing the color intensely. And I'm going to apply this color also on the lower part of my inner corner. Okay, so you can probably see that I still don't have highlighter, but I have moisturized my skin well, and it looks as if, almost as if I'm wearing a highlighter. I'm still not wearing any highlighter, but I'm going to apply later. Next, I want something that is a little bit more shimmery. You can use any kind of topper shade that you like. I'm going to go ahead and take this color. This is the rosy shade from Chanel's Tweed No. 4 eyeshadow palette, Brun et Rose. I'm going to take this color with the same sponge applicator because I want to pack the color, and I'm going to tap it all over my eyelid. This color is quite sparkly. And once again, you don't need to use the exact same colors. These are all timeless colors that I think that everyone has in their makeup collection, so it doesn't have to be the exact same thing. This is just to inspire you to create your own look. Next, again, I'm going to be taking Tissé Vendôme, and I'm taking this color here, one of the deeper shades. Not the deepest one, but this one is excellent. And you can do this whole look only using Tissé Vendôme. You don't need to use the other colors if you don't want to. I think that this is one of the most beautiful eyeshadow palettes for a bridal makeup look. Another eyeshadow palette that I would recommend for a bridal makeup look is Tisse Camellia, and another one is going to be Tom Ford Nude Dip. I have a video that is dedicated to the best neutral eyeshadow palettes. Each of these is going to be very suitable for a bridal makeup look. I'm going to make sure to link the video here so that you can see them. I also have swatches of these palettes. The only palette that is not shown in this video is Tisse Vendôme because I didn't have it back then. Next, I'm taking a clean brush and I'm just going to go ahead and blend everything. Next, I'm taking a brown kohl eyeliner. This one is Brun Cuivré from Chanel. And I'm going to line my upper lash line. I'm massaging the color in the roots of the lashes. Next, for my lower lash line, I'm going to use the grayish color. And I'm going to apply this color only on the outer part of my lower lash line, very lightly. Next, we're moving on to eyelashes, and for my friend, we decided not to use false lashes. Now, the decision whether to use false lashes or not on your wedding, it all depends on you. If you decide to use false lashes, I would say practice a little bit before that, before the reception, and try to use false lashes regularly for at least a month, or let's say a couple of weeks before you actually attend the reception, because for some people it's not easy to wear false lashes. You need to get used to applying them and you need to get used to wearing them. For her, it looked a little bit unnatural. She never wears false lashes and she wanted to be more natural on her wedding. She didn't want to worry about her false lashes. For some people, these are just not comfortable. They can elevate the look to a new level, and I'm all for the false lashes on a wedding day, but it's all a personal decision. I think that if I'm a bride one day, I'm definitely not going to use false lashes just because I don't feel it. I never use them in my daily life, and I think this is something that I'm gonna skip. But for those of you who don't want to use false lashes like me, just make sure to curl your eyelashes and then apply 2 coats of mascara. I have a video where I explain how I like to apply mascara on my eyelashes. I'm going to link it here. This is the Italian way of applying mascara. I like to mix 2 different mascaras to get the most impact. Now this is with the mascara on, and now moving on to lips. I decided to leave the blush for the last because the lipstick is going to guide me how much blush I need and what kind of blush I want to apply. It's always best to apply the blush last because you're going to know the lips and the eyes are going to guide you about the color of the blush. Now, a lot of brides are usually going to choose a nude lipstick for their wedding day, and there is nothing wrong about that. If you want to know my recommendations on how to choose the best nude lipstick, because I know that a lot of people are struggling with choosing the perfect nude lipstick that looks beautiful on their skin tone, I have a video. I'm going to link it here and I'm going to link it in the description box. Be sure to watch this video because I have very simple tips on how to choose the perfect nude lipstick that is going to complement your skin tone. Now, if you're going to choose a nude lipstick, make sure that you choose a nude lipstick that is going to look good on you and that is going to complement your skin tone, your coloring. Because a nude lipstick can make you look beautiful, but at the same time it can make you look almost as if you're sick, because very often I see on bridal makeup looks this kind of a nude lipstick that almost disappears into the lips. And if you have thin lips like mine, this can be even trickier than that. Now, with my friend, we were talking a lot about the lipstick that she wanted to wear, and we decided to go for a beautiful bright fuchsia lip color because she wanted to look healthy. She wanted to look absolutely radiant. And if you have thin lips, something like this, fuchsia color is always going to make the lips pop. It's always going to make you look so radiant and youthful. And then if you feel like you want to create a more classic bridal makeup look, you can always go for a nude lipstick. Once again, I'm going to make sure to link my video how to choose the perfect nude lipstick for you. It's important to choose a nude lipstick that is going to complement your skin tone. Mine is going to be from Sisley. And again, I'm just going to tap it on my lips. And then I'm going to use a brush to shape my lips. I think that this is going to be one of the most beautiful bridal nude colors. Again, make sure that the color is going to match your skin tone and is going to complement your skin tone. But I feel like this color in particular is going to match a lot of different skin tones, and it's just kind of a subtle nude color that is very innocent. Now, about carrying a blush on your wedding day, you're probably going to be blushed naturally, but I think that it always comes handy if you have this kind of blush, something small that you can easily reapply. So I would only take a blush and a lipstick, but don't forget that the most important thing is having fun. My camera stopped filming accidentally when I was applying the highlighter, but the highlight that I used was by Clé de Peau. Clé de Peau has some of the best highlighters. You don't have to use this one in particular, but I really like the glow that it gives. And I mixed this one with a MAC highlighter. So these are two of the most beautiful highlighters. This one is more nude and it's going to look more natural. This one, again, is going to look natural, but if you overdo it, it's going to appear a little bit more purplish. So this is the 201 from Clé de Peau, and you can see that it has this kind of a purple effect. So if you overdo it, it's going to appear purple on your cheeks. Whereas this one, I would say, is very beautiful and safe to use. I used a combination of the two on my cheek. So this one is, let me actually just go ahead and swatch them for you so that you can have a better idea. Well, this is a heavy swatch, so it's not going to be as glowy. You can see that on my skin it's glowy, but not too much. And then the Clé de Peau one. Okay, here we have the Clé de Peau on my index finger. So you can see that the Clé de Peau, you can see the color, you can see the purple color as I'm moving my fingers. So just to keep that in mind, I think that Clé de Peau have some of the most beautiful highlighters, but this one by MAC is much cheaper, a lot more affordable, and it does the same job, and it even looks, I would say, more natural. For a bridal makeup look, I would not skip the highlighter just because it looks beautiful in real life and it looks beautiful in photos. You're probably going to have beautiful lighting as well at your wedding, and it is always going to give you a little bit of that extra radiance that you need. Of course, if you want to, you can skip the highlighter and use a little bit of oil high on your cheekbones, but I would prefer a dedicated highlighter. Now, one thing that I wanted to mention, one last thing that I wanted to mention, use a setting spray for your wedding day because it's going to make the makeup a lot more long lasting. And the one setting spray that I'm going to recommend, the only one that I recommend, is by Charlotte Tilbury. She has a beautiful setting spray that really helps the makeup to last so much longer. And unfortunately, I don't have it right now with me, but a good thing that I'm not getting married today, so I can do even without the setting spray. But I think that this look came out very natural. My last tip for you is going to be smile is going to be the most beautiful makeup that you're wearing. So don't pay too much attention on your makeup. Be happy and celebrate the love. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until next time, a bientôt. Hey guys, quickly checking in 9 hours after I applied my makeup, and as you remember, I didn't have a setting spray. If I had a setting spray, everything was going to look even better. But now everything looks quite impressive because I used the thin layer, so I'm gonna go ahead and show. So this combination of products works quite nice for me, and my point here was make sure to use thin layers and do not pile on too many products on your skin. This is going to be key to your makeup looking beautiful and flawless for the whole day, from the morning until night. Considering that I cooked today, you're not going to be cooking on your wedding day, or if you're attending a special occasion or any kind of reception, you're not going to be cooking. So I was still exposed to some heat when I was cooking. So I think that the makeup is holding pretty nice. It looks quite flawless. And I only reapplied the lipstick right before I sat to film the video because I felt like I needed to reapply the lipstick. But apart from the lipstick, I did not blot. I didn't do anything to my face. And probably some of the foundation has worn out here where I was touching my nose. But that's it, everything else looks quite flawless, so don't skip the setting spray, use thin layers, and my powder application trick, I think it works quite well to keep this look quite fresh and flawless during the day.